Today's practice is about, now that we have gone through so many practices of attending into this space, is also how to keep your energies evolving in this space of it's almost like a burning. And this is the answer. When you are in the fullest capacity of yourself, and when you let that burn in you, the space of that your purpose is, no matter what it is, then you become like the sun. And don't worry about the manifestation and don't worry about any other things, because it's when the sun and when the planets rotate around the sun, it is not organized by the sun. It is the gravitation and the energy of that space. And that same energy is there in humans. When they are out of their purpose, they are totally gone into the space of the chaos. They are gone to the space of the destruction. They are gone into the space of idling their energy. So it's almost like a fire. If you can keep your sadhanas and the practice, and today class is going to be how to be in the space of the practice, where that you are constantly in that space of evolving, burning, where people who are looking for that warmth, looking for that light, will come to you. It's not that you're going away. It's not like sun going away to find the ideal planets. It's you have to be the center of your journey so that you are not idle and wasting time going and doing this and that. But your practice has to be constantly, you have to be in the space of, am I burning or I'm just idling like a dead wood? Or I'm in that space of it is fueling, it is giving the warmth, and it is bringing that creativity. It will allow you to come into that purpose. It will allow all friendships to come into blossoming. It will avoid the residue of things that no longer serves you will drop. So saying that, I'm going to pinpoint this in the class so much that you're going into that space. So now find a space to sit, find a space to elongate your spine, and find a space to gently allow that breath to move in and move out without any force. Now, very gently, shoulders roll back, opening up the chest, arms raised onto the crown. Now, very gently elongate the space of the navel, heart. Breath out, twisting the spine to the right side, stomach very gently pulling in. So I will move the camera towards Darren so you can see the sequence if you're new to the sequence. Now back to the center. Shoulders relaxed and chest open. Change the leg formation. Arms raised onto the ground. Very gently twisting the spine to the left side. Stomach very gently pulling in. Back into that space. Now very gently soften the body and completely breathe out to a seated cat. Now allow the breath to reminder of that present moment, of that generating that energy of what we call the heat, the warmth, the fire. Breathing in, tongue roll up onto the upper palate, energy gaze onto the third eye into a seated cow. Breathe out, inner lock, navel lock, throat lock into the seated cat. Now breathing in this present moment into a neutral spine. Neutral spine. Stretch the neck to the right. Really releasing that tension from the night, from the pillow, the movement. Breathing in back into the center. Stretch the neck onto the left side. Back into the center. Now take a deep breath in and shrug the shoulders up. Tilt the head back. Massage the back of the skull. Open and close the mouth wide and releasing that tension of the jaw from talking, tension of thinking, tension of unresolved things that I should have said this, I should have not said this. Because all emotions travel through the body. So bring that light of the practice into it. Chin to the chest, releasing. Now take a good breath in gently and come into the front of the mat and left leg stretch into the back, keeping the right hip open. So this is not searching for that ignition, not searching for that fire, but being that space of the fire, the warmth, the comfort of who you are, the being of you that resonate beyond your thinking. Now take a deep breath in. Drop those elbows, walk those palms. Now releasing the tension of those fingers that when you are not burning and when you're idling in the same space, when you are holding on to the old burned things, what kind of energy that it is resonating in your body, a stagnation, dampness. And these kind of feelings actually will drop the organs of the body also into this space of dampness. That's why it's very important, even the stomach, to be in that space of the heat, the warm, the Jatar Agni. Now take a deep breath in, very gently coming back. Shoulders relax and soften the body and very gently moving into that space of the plank. Strong on the pelvic floor. Keep your fingers spread. Keep the weight equally balanced in the pelvic floor. And bring that head up a little bit so it's not looking down. Now very gently left knee onto the floor. Right arm reaching into the front to the ceiling. Into the back onto the floor. Now drop the knees. Give a good rotation to the hips and warm up that space of the belly. Now the psyche of the study is in the space of being in that fire. But the physicality is also creating that wider rotation. And coming into that very moment, you are in the space of that wider rotation to the other side. Very gently stretch the spine into the back, arms facing up, and allow those shoulder blades to release that tension that it is holding in the back, in the neck. Without any hesitation, coming into that breath of understanding, breath of awakening in that present moment. If you're not in this place of the burning, in that space of your being, then the burden you will become is a disaster for you and to the others. The palms facing down, rolling and bringing the chest into the front. Gently take a breath in into the up face. If it is too hard to come onto the up face, just come into the Bhujangasana, the gentle cobra. Breathe out towards the down face. Now, toes pointing at each other, heels apart, very gently unlock the tendency of the hips and give that potential back into the space of the movement, space of the heat for those hips. Bending one knee at a time, gently lifting up onto the toes, breathing out, pushing the heels down, shoulders relax, head relax from the doing, neck relax from the doing, and being in that space of the moment. Now take a deep breath in. Bring that left foot into the front, into the pigeon pose. Shoulders roll back, opening up the chest. Gently take a deep breath in. Very gently drop the elbows and walk those palms into the front. Allow those palms to face up. Now that you have the confidence of the movement, confidence of navigating this body and the mind, coming into that presence of yourself, not belongs to your story, not belongs to your futures that you are limitedly holding on to, but awakening through your practice, awakening through your awareness, awakening through generating that energy. Allowing that the rest of this energy, the warmth, the light, the heat, to travel into every aspect of your life that has come into a stagnation. And bring this realization into that. Take a deep breath in, palms facing down, very gently coming back. Strongly take a deep breath in and move the breath through the plank now. Now right knee onto the floor, left arm reaching up to the ceiling, into the back, touch the floor. Gently drop the knees, completely breathe out, coming into a cat. Now, this is the normal posture of the cat, so focus on your spine and the tailbone and the throat and back of the neck. Take a deep breath in, tongue roll up onto the upper palate, energy gaze onto the third eye, light of your being. Let it travel through the space of the third eye. See yourself without the story, see yourself without the gender, without any. Breathe out, anus lock, navel lock, throat lock. Now, all you're getting caught up is when you have a story. When you have a story and when you give a story a future. So create distance from that to come into the possibility of burning. If you're burning, there cannot be an old log. There cannot be a wasted log. Breathing in, tongue roll up, energy gaze onto the third eye, coming into that space of the car. Moment that you are sparking of this light, the energy of the bird, committing into it through the sadhana, through the practice, not how you came here, not how you're going to go somewhere out of this, just that moment, commit to you. Neutral spine. Now very gently left arm reaching up to the ceiling, into the back, under the armpit. Drop that shoulder. Allow that source of the shoulder blade to drop and give that space of the spark into the place of where you're feeling, where your movement is. When you are constantly coming into this realization, you're with the whole cosmos. You're committing into that same space that the sun is, holding the rest and having a journey with its own planets, own moons. So very gently, without any fear, coming into that space. Now very gently coming back. Completely breathe out to the cat. Curve the spine properly. It's important to work on the Sushumna, breathing in, tongue roll up onto the upper palate, energy gaze onto the Chitakasha, to the cow. Commit to that space, understanding that all that is created is coming from this space. The abundance of life exists. When it exists in burning, it will attract things that you need to work on yourself. Now, breathing in, neutral spine, right arm reaching up to the ceiling, into the back, under the armpit. Now, shoulders relaxed, just open. Give that energy the space of that understanding. And always when you are lost in the surface, just take a deep breath in to come into that source, the fire, the warmth, the heat that it generates, the feeling that it generates, and commit your practice into that space, not the outcome of anything. The mind through the fire of your being you are is more important. Life, and once you taste that, what it brings into your life, nothing to do with your effort, just the realization. The effortless effort. Breathing in very gently, coming back. Completely breathe out to the cat. Bring that fire to rest. Is done by the heat, by the movement. Tongue roll up, breathing in into the energy, gazing onto the third eye. The light, your light, and it attracts things that need your heat. Whether it's events, whether it's people, whether it's business, whether it's relationship, does not matter. They come on the same frequency. When you have the realization, it will attract, not necessarily the destruction. It will only bring destructions to release things from you and create the connection that you are meant to be with. Breath out to the cat. Neutral spine. Now, when the fire is burning, you could see the trance, the dance of light. It's almost the divine light fire. It's the signature of that joy, celebration, the creation. Now, very gently bringing that realization, a neutral spine, give a good rotation to the hips, give a good rotation to the digestion. If things are coming into life, it needs to be also digested. Correct nutrients being fed into the correct parts of the body. It's the same thing. The psychology, it's correct nutrients is the realization to the parts that created so deep a level, so that you can get rid of the old issues, you can work on the issues, releasing the energy from the tissue. Quite a rotation to the other side. Take a deep breath in, push the hips into the front, shoulders roll back, open up that chest and elevate that space of the heart. Breath out, push the hips back, palms facing up. Now, in the karmic level, when the person is in the practice of the sadhana, in the meditation, it's not a doing, it's a realization. It burns the past karmic patterns. That karma is only can be fed by the same habitual pattern. So let it burn, let it die in that same fire that you are bringing that new light within you. the fire within you. And having the realization of that trust, that fire is, but it is a divine trust. It is a divine energy. It is a surrender to the fire. It's not putting off the fire when you're out of balance. Palms facing down, crawling and bringing the chest into the front. Breathing in into a gentle up face. Breathe out towards the down face. Now, in this moment of the practice, you don't have to think about the creation anymore because it is taking place. All what you're coming is into the surrender and let things be. Now take a deep breath in and left leg up into the back. Left knee onto the chest, breathe out. Breathing in, stretch back. Left knee onto the left elbow, breathe out. Breathing in, stretch back. Left knee onto the right elbow. Breathing in, stretch back. Left foot into the front. Take a deep breath in and stop clinging off that front foot. Arms stretch into the back. Take a deep breath in, arms raise onto the ground. Now let's create that fire again by 6 deep cycles of breath. Wider rotation to the arms. Putting your whole energy into that being. Generating, whether it's through the breath, whether it's through the collective thoughts, coming into a place of surrender. Maybe the body is moving, but it is movement without the movement. Wide rotation. Take a deep breath in, palms onto the pranam position, bringing into that space of the heart where it's inspiring for your own heart to be light, but it is also inspiring for the others without the separation. Now take a posture of Virabhadrasana onto the right side. Take a mudra. And bring that warrior of keeping it burning. Now realization of that infinitely, and you are bound to come across into this space of like a magnet, where you don't chase things, things chase for you. Light so light. Your practice is an invitation to the source. People see the source through you. They have the comfort of gathering around you like a big fire moment. So they come for their creativity. Gentle arch. Breathing very gently, coming back into the center. Elbow onto the knee. Right arm reaching up to the ceiling. Very gently, right reaching into the back, touch the floor. Left arm reaching up to the ceiling and generating that energy of the realization. Left reaching into the back and touch the floor. Now walk both palms towards the right if you can. Otherwise, just stay in here. Otherwise, take a bolster. Otherwise, take a cushion. And drop those elbows to release the tension that has created from those spaces that we are holding tension. Growing. It's a space that things are not burning. It's generating. It's not generating that light of realization. Then these areas can get inflamed. So very gently take this moment to eliminate that aspect of yourself, that any moment that you can invite, and create that new energy. Now, when you feel like that you have worked on this level, on the psyche and the psychology, and the physiology of it, of this realization through the form and the no form, means the energy. There's a journey of ease comes into you. Now take a deep breath in very gently, coming back into a plank, stronger on the pelvic floor. Now drop the knees, stretch the spine, rolling and bringing the chest into the front, breathing into an up face, breathing out towards the down face. Take a deep breath in, drop the knees, rolling and bringing the chest into the front, breathing in into an up face, breathe out to a down face. Now very gently drop the knees and stretch the spine. Just for that gentle moment. This is the time now you're traveling very light. Things no longer serving you is released in this very moment. Because anything that you bring unnecessary into this moment is going to burn. Trust that you have that is burning. Because you're permitting yourself into that space of the fire. Not to the log, not to the obstacle, not to the difficulty. And the moment the rest what you thought is holding you is now totally unnecessary. Palms facing down, rolling and bringing the chest into the front, elbows onto the floor, breathing in into a gentle cobra. This is the moment, if anything in life that is hindering, whether it's asking you to postpone that your space of the practice, your place of the realization, you have to inquire again, why am I putting away my practice to nature something does not serve anything at all? Not even the person who is asking it serving them. No matter who they are, you only can help them by creating the space of the fire within yourself. Real mitra, real friends will ask you to burn, not to stop what you're doing in that space of the realization. Overlooking to the right side, overlooking into the left side, back to the center. I want you to relax the third eye on the fist or on top of your hands. Just for that moment to release all the words that I have said or spoken. We're coming into that realization without the story, without your gender, without your titles. Just imagine the energy of these words and the stories are creating a heat and a light. And your only concern is in that heat and the light, not what went to create that heat, or what the light looks like with a story. So welcome yourself into this space of this realization as a light. No longer the story, no longer the podcast, no longer even my feet. Commit to activate yourself, your energies, and gather them to create that huge realization that is called the fire, but it's constantly burning. Now, when you come into that, it's no longer it's a trophy or an accolade or anything that you have come. into the space of the understanding. The most important thing is what you really are. In that realization, don't trade into anything. Give your ability to feel that fire. Don't exchange it into anything. There cannot be anything. Back into the center, palms next to your elbows. Take a deep breath in, coming into that up face. Now towards the down face. Now take a deep breath in, right leg into the back, right knee to the right chest. Stretch back, right knee to the right elbow, breathe out. Stretch back, right knee to the left elbow. Stretch back, right foot into the front. Arms stretch into the back. Arms rest onto the crown. Interlacing the fingers, palms facing up. Shoulders relaxed and your chest is open. Do not cling to the floor. Have that confidence, the engagement, the commitment, so that you're becoming new. So if you're ready to that, become the work, working, become the work. 60 cycles of breath, wider rotation. Bring that oxygen into the space of the realization of reminder of the fire. On the breath be your chanting until you open the ignition of the portal. The cosmos is open at that very moment because you're functioning like a burning sun. Pranam and Virabhadrasana onto the left side. Take a mudra. Let your practice be the persuading energy for that. You are breaking all those traps in the mind and its doubts, limitation, and its fear. And you're holding the mudra in the Virabhadrasana, trusting your own energy. And you're breathing into it. And let that breath be the beating of your heart, beating of your cells, fighting in the space of your sicknesses. Let it be the guidance, gentle arch. Take a deep breath in, elbow onto the knee, left arm reaching up. Find that space, find that comfort, find that guidance. Taking that leap to finding who you are. Left reaching into the back, touch the floor. right arm reaching up to the ceiling. Clench and unclench if you have tension in any part of the knuckles, elbows, reaching into the back. Or very gently dropping your hands towards the left if you can, using a bolster, just releasing whatsoever that is holding, whether it's in a space of the groin, space of the hip. What's stopping you being in that space of the fire, the totality of your practice? Just staying in that space of that inner. So bringing the practice wholeheartedly, not half-heartedly, bringing the practice with that level of understanding without the confusion. Not looking at the profit of the problem, but if you have to lose everything, be in that space of the fire, be in that space of the enlightenment, be in that space of that relationship where you see that space of the fire, feel the warmth of that. I'm very gently coming into a gentle plank, strong on the pelvic floor, left knee onto the floor, stretch the right calf muscle, right knee onto the floor, stretching the left calf muscle, back to the center and drop both knees, give a rotation to the hips, wide rotation to the other side, knees wide apart and stretch the spine into the front and into the back. In this level of realization, you are no longer become a beggar for happiness, indulgence, the profit. Because in the presence, once you have experienced that fire, your mind is disappearing. When the mind is a tool, you are no longer a servant for it. Your body is a tool. So that heat follows you, the fire follows you. You don't have to get rid of things. It itself getting rid of things, no longer supporting the righteousness. A lot of people's minds are their bosses. So you're constantly your spirit in the space of the slave. But now it is changing. Now very gently knees together and coming into a child pose. If the child pose is hard to bring your head down, please elevate on a block or in a cushion. So now your only commitment is to this space, the relationship with the space of that bird. Life doesn't want your mind life. It wants the energy and the vibration and the frequency where the warmth is felt, where the light is felt, where the electricity is felt. Creation only can happen in those energies. It does not happen through the mind's light. Now you're coming into that space. When you come into that space, your spine is so strong because it's like a vibration. It's like a portal. It's like an antenna in that space of the understanding. Wake up the spine one vertebra at a time. Shoulders relax, just open. Lifting up onto the knees. A couple of breaths and right arm reaching up to the ceiling and into the back next to the hip, left arm reaching up to the ceiling, into the back. Just warm up, bring that fire, bring that electricity, bring that creation to perform the Trasana. Now take a deep breath in. Now, if you're a first time coming into a class after a long time, don't go into the Purnuttrasana. Gently take your heels up and hold it. Otherwise, right arm reaching up to the ceiling, into the back arm. Left arm reaching up and into the hip. Otherwise, into the hip. Otherwise, you keep a bolster on top of the heels and hold that bolster or a block. So find something that you can hold the posture and very gently allow the heart to float and even the space of the kidneys to be more buoyant. And it creates that breakthrough through energy. When you come into this space of the fire, let it have that breakthrough by throwing the old self into the fire. That is the sacrifice. It creates that intensity of the heat. Now support the back, gently move into the child pose. This time, fist is on the third eye. Now you're totally in the space of the fire. Now you understand beyond the verbal and language. You're with me so far. Now relax the third eye and stretch the arms into the back and crown of the head onto the floor, lifting up the buttocks. Don't stress the neck, just to activate the pituitary and the pineal energy of that sacredness, the activity of those temples in that space. Roll back into the third eye. Again, the fist is on the third eye. Now you could see any transaction with the mind is not sacred at all. So now you have found the missing part. Now wake up the spine, one vertebra at a time. Now the experience of it is the joy. The experience of working on this fire is the joy. It's not a mind's joy. Well, I have to have a lot of this and a lot of that. So you come into that space of the Swadharma. Shrug the shoulders up, tilt the head back, massage the back of the skull, open and close the mouth 3 times. Chin to the chest, relax. And stretch the legs into the front. Now feet mat width apart, knees slightly bent. I want you to do a Paschimottanasana, but not Purna, not by force. Pull out the buttocks, arms raised onto the ground and roll from your hips. So you're getting the belly down first, then the navel down, then the solar plexus, then the heart, then the throat, then the third eye. So it's not hunching, it's rolling. And then you can really release the tension of that stubbornness, the adamant, the ignorance in this body that is being held and held. And while you are sacrificing these energies, there is a new energy comes through this fire. What is that energy? It stops the mind. And you become the movement. You become the breath. You become the experience. You become the solution. Not the idea of the solution. Now gently take a deep breath in and coming back. Shoulders relax and chest open. Now palms onto the floor into the back. And very gently take a deep breath in and releasing that depression or around the hips and all that. Coming into a tabletop. And that fire is the present moment. Showing you the way. And what you're doing is you're connecting into that. You're connecting into that electricity. Now stretch the legs even you want. Otherwise, you can use the tabletop. Now gently coming down. Knees to the chest, completely breathe out. Breathing in, the arms raised onto the ground. Breath out, knees to the chest. Chin up. Breathing in. Breath out. Breathing in. Breath out. Use the practice without any territories. Break the territories of the mind. Breathing in. Breath out. Breathing in. Breath out. Now, if you're in the front of the mat, roll back to the floor. Knees to the chest. Now stretch the right leg away from you. Take the left leg holding onto the back of the knee and stick it up. Flex the foot. See whether there's any territories by the tension of the mind games, that taken hostage of a part of a body. Or not even hostage. There's a struggle of the movement. There's a stagnation of the movement. So don't get caught up in the trap of identifying it. Just go to the energy of the body, into the fire, and very gently work with that. The thought, the idea. Everything is energy. Now very gently bring the knee to the chest. Hold on to that knee, forehead onto the knee without tilting the hips. Now relax the back of the head and drop that knee onto the right side. Forward. Really bring it down. If you cannot bring it down, put a cushion there. So you can release the left shoulder blade onto the floor. or looking onto the left side. This will break the patterns of the illusion, or patterns that constantly keep happening for you. Now take a deep breath in, coming back, shoulders relax. Lead to the chest. Just that digestion, releasing that space of holding, exchange for this new space of the fire until that revolution happens. It's going to happen first on an energy level, not to your story. Then it will seep into the story. If you like the story too much, now release that leg. Now find the extension of that leg, freedom of that leg, releasing those shackles. Now very gently bring the right knee onto the chest completely. Breathe out without tilting the head back. Take another deep breath in, breath out, forward onto the knee. Don't give up on the space of this fire. Feel. Don't exchange into anything. Don't exchange for a profit. Don't exchange for a security. Now take a deep breath in into the chest and very gently dropping onto the opposite direction. The more you drop, stretch that right arm. Try to find the space of the experience briefly in that right shoulder, overlooking onto the right side. Now take a deep breath in, very gently coming back. Come into that movement of a live fire. Knee to the chest, forehead onto the knee. Now very gently bringing both knees to the chest, lock onto the toes, gently performing that space of the dead back where feet is showing up, knees under the armpit, tailbone down, very gently. You can gently move on to side if there is any further tension trapped in the back, around the shoulder blades, around the kidneys, around the hips. Now very gently knees to the chest. Drop the spine and coming into a seating posture. Take a deep breath in and twisted the spine to the right side, stomach hold in. Your focus is to become that space of the fire. Your Dharma is that. Back into the center. Change the leg formation onto the other side. Take a deep breath in, coming back into the center. Both arms stretch onto the side. Right arm onto the top, holding onto the Garudasana. Very gently a touch on the third eye. into the space of the sacredness, space of the divinity in this sensation of the fire, the warmth. Just be in that total experience. Now take a deep breath in, tongue roll up onto the upper palate, energy gaze onto the third eye, stroke that third up to the crown, puts in the spine to the right. Opening up into the experience of the posture, energy of posture. Back into the center. Change the leg formation. Take a deep breath in, arm stretch onto the side. Left arm onto the top, onto the space of the Garudasana. Remember the energy of the vibration of. This is the only place that anything creatively can happen. And you're discovering this. And you're not trading this into another title, a mask. Now take a deep breath in. Tongue roll up onto the upper palate, energy gaze onto the third eye, stroke and twist the spine on the out breath to the left. Be aware of the one which is aware of the energy. Your mind cannot try. Don't try to think about awareness. Become the energy of the awareness. Back into the center. Completely breathe out to a seated cat. Breathing in into a seated cow. Breath out. Now, the feet are in there. Now, very gently walk those palms into the back and drop the elbows until the head back. If this is comfortable for you. If it is uncomfortable for you, then release the tension of the feet. Now, if you want to drop the elbows a little bit without lifting up the knees, then do that. If you want to put a bolster and readjust yourself, then it's okay. Now open up that and play with that intensity of the burning. Now very gently, palms push down, elbows stretch, coming back. And roll forward and walk the palms into the front. Keep the knees down, keep the hips open, keep that back stretch. When you're ready, wake up the spine one vertebra at a time. Now take a mudra to represent that your energy in that boiling point, energy on that heat. Remember, energy changes form. What happens if you put a log into the fire? It burns. It's changed the energy. So today, at this very moment, whatever your sankalpa is, the resolve is, let the energy be there. Because energy changes its form. All what you have learned, now let it be the energy, let it be the fire, let it be the heat, let it be the light. Now that will give you the relation to what is needed, what is the mind is afraid of, what is the body is afraid of. Because now the intensity of your realization no longer have roles, no longer, it does not play with anything. It is in the space of totality. In this totality, changes happen right now, right this present moment. Now, all that is needed or you want is coming out of fear, you could see. Let this be your initiation for today. Take a mudra of initiation. That you're functioning in this bird, in this fire, in this totality. When you come into that realization, take a couple of more deep breaths. Now you will accomplish 1,000 things, but in this one moment. When you come into this realization, arms raised onto the ground, cleansing the space of the aura. To fully bring the palms onto the crown chakra and aligning that space that you are discovering and that you're bringing it into that alignment, that your awareness or your witness or your awakening. Throat chakra, energy of that throat. When you talk, what is the energy comes out of it? Energy of the heat and the warmth or energy of fear? When you come into the throat, bring that intensity into your heart. How does your heart beat? Beat by fear? Beat by liberation? That energy, but your mind cannot understand. Bring that energy into the solar plexus, that you are the sun of your world. That is the most awakening of your spiritual journey today. Navel chakra. When there is emotion comes, you will tap into the energy of it. So you don't need to know about the mind. Bring that into the Muladhara chakra and ground in the present moment in this energy, into the sacredness of the truth, the mystery. That you have found the sole purpose and committing into that energy. Arms raised onto the crown and cleansing the space and the aura of your home, family and loved ones, and the state, and your world, and your galaxy, and beyond, wherever you want to extend. So your realization Comes down to the namaskar position of your energy and the vibration of your electricity. Whatever your electricity, the heat, creation happens in this space. So take it gently today and namaste to you all through this lovely journey through the sun, through the community that we have come into. Good to see you, Joe. Good to see Matt. Good to see Liz, Dr. Michelle, Dr. see Maria, Said, see Daz and Rebecca. Great
Thank
class.
you, Chana. Good to see you, Chana.
Lovely, lovely. Likewise. So good coming back. And we'll see you every Saturday for this wonderful class. And thank you for all your.
That would be beautiful. It was very just like it was, just like I remember.
Love you all and big hugs to you all. See you soon. Take care. Bye for now.
Thank you.
Thank you.